Dark Knight, where strategy meets shadows. Today, I'll show you the Ruy López. Bringing the pawn to e4, taking control of the centre and opening up the diagonals for our queen and lights for our bishop. Black replies with pawn to e5, doing the same thing as us, opening up the diagonals for their dark square bishop and their queen. And we play knight to f3, developing it towards the centre and attacking their undefended e5 pawn. Black would probably reply with knight to c6, defending their pawn and also developing their knight at the same time. Then we play the iconic move, bishop to b5, attacking their knight and indirectly attacking their e5 pawn. If you don't know what I mean, let's say they move the pawn forward, their knight's pinned, because if it moves, it'll leave the king in check. And if they move their knight, the pawn's pinned, because once again, if it moves, it'll leave the king in check. Now, black will usually reply with pawn to e6. If you want to, you can capture the knight. Otherwise, you'll probably move the bishop back, let's say to c4, where you can attack their weak f7 pawn here. And then when you bring the knight to, let's say, black moves here. Now you move the bishop, let's say here, attack their knight, and they can't really do anything, and you're still attacking their weak pawn over here. Now let's say they don't notice, and they move this pawn forward again. They bring their knight to here, they attack the pawn. You can use the fried liver attack with the bishop and the queen. I mean the knight, not the queen. With the queen, that's scholar mate. And as you can see, it's a fork with the rook or the queen. They're more than likely going to save the queen, so they move here. And you can just freely capture the rook with your knight. Now, that is the Ruy López. The goal of the Ruy López, though, is to develop your pieces freely. As you can see, when we're developing like our bishop and our knight, they're developing pretty naturally, moving out to the center and controlling more squares. Also, we want to castle our king here. I know the pawn's here, but let's pretend they don't do that. The safety, and now our king's safe, and we can bring our rook out into the game, controlling this e file here. And we also need to control the center of the pawns. Afterwards, you can move your pawn to d4, and as you can see, we have even more central control, and the pawns are protected by the knight and the rook. Now, what do you think of the Ruy López? Let me in the comments, and for the next part of my channel, I'll be making video games using GDevelop, so stay tuned if you want to learn how to do that. Thanks for watching.